Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, and today we're going to talk about some cross stitch, some knitting, really all kinds of good stuff. Appreciate you coming back or stumbling across my channel if this is your first time here. Talk about all kinds of crafty things that I get into. Today that includes cross stitch and knitting and a little bit of plans for some sewing in the future as well. So hope you stick around and see what I've been up to. To get started, I actually have 2 finishes this month. So it was a big month. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat with this one, but I was able to get finished up with the Deadly Aquarium. This was a stitch along by Lola Crow cross stitch. Started a couple months ago and came out with bi-weekly releases. So here it is. Oh my gosh, guys, this is just amazing. So in the last 2 weeks since I saw you last, I have put 1,636 stitches into this one. Stitched it with the called for DMC on 40 count Grace Notes Joy to the World. So just absolutely love this piece. The detail that went into this is just crazy. I mean, the way she uses colors and everything is just awesome. So started this on May 11th, 2024 and finished it up this past September 12th. So a couple months in. It was definitely a labor of love. But yeah, again, just absolutely love. Some of my favorite parts, I love the jellyfish right there, as well as the little puffin. Oh my gosh, he's precious. And the birds too are super, super cute. And this little grumpy purple guy. So much fun. This was my first time doing a Lola Crow stitch along, and it was just such a great experience. Every release she would send out little information about the creatures that were coming out, so it was just really cool to get to see and learn about the things that you're stitching on. So really just had a great time with this one. And I will say too, typically on my patterns and on my stitches I use DMC 3865 as white, but for this one I just really wanted it to pop, so I did actually use Blanc, and I'm loving the results of that as well. So yeah, super happy to get this one finished up. Definitely want to get it framed. I'm not sure where in my house that it will go, but it was really a fun one. So definitely we'll have to see what the next release is. Some of my friends and I were speculating on what it could be because she's come out with so many great ones already. So that was my first finish of the video. Second one is definitely a smaller feet. Okay, that was my fault. That wasn't even a pet's fault. Okay, that was me knocking something over. So can't even blame it on one of the pets, but as I was saying, my next finish is definitely a smaller feat, but I was able to finish up a little Mill Hill. Absolutely adore this. It's just a cute little suitcase. I got it to commemorate a recent trip we took to Denver this year. So this one was pretty quick. Started on August 11th and finished on September 6th. And just love it. The little like tag is a little heart charm that is like 3D. So definitely excited to get this one finished up into an ornament. The way that I do it is with felt on the back, and then I actually stitch it on using like a whip stitch. There's a couple of people on like a Mill Hill group on Facebook that have talked about how they finish it that way, so that is the way that I do it as well. I'll probably use like a white or a blue felt on this, but just love. So cute. I was going to show you guys as well the way that I store my Mill Hill beads, because I do keep all of the extra ones because they give you plenty of extra for when you are working on these charts. So I actually have these little storage bins from Joann's that I've used my label maker, and I just put the number that's provided and I just go through and sort them out. It takes a couple minutes, but it is kind of relaxing, honestly, to be able to go through and sort them all out. And then if I want them for anything else, I can just pull them. And that was what fell a second ago. So they were in like red, like rainbow order, and they looked really cute, but now they're not, so that's okay. But yeah, totally love being able to keep those and pull from them. Just picked this up at Joann's, and I really like it because I've tried using like the floss boxes or like a similar system before, but because it doesn't fully seal, they go all over the place and get mixed up. So I like these because inside is actually like little individual jars. And these are, the whole thing comes all together. It's super cheapy from Joann's, but it works perfectly for storing everything. And then I just use my label maker to put the numbers on there. So love that. If you're looking for a little storage solution, that's definitely my favorite way to keep them over the time that I've been stitching them. So love having those extras around. Okay, so moving into whips or works in progress, I was able to work on 2 other projects here in the last 2 weeks. First one I did pull out for Sampler September, and that was What Remains by Blackbird Designs. So there's the finished product for this one. Love this chart. Obsessed with Blackbird right now. I'll insert a picture of where I was at previously on this one. I was able to get about 800 stitches in on it, so some pretty good progress. Here's where I'm at now. So as you can tell, I stitched over into this border and got this side finished out. So it's at about 54%, about 3,000 stitches remaining on this. I'm stitching it on the, it's 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flex. Absolutely love it. I don't know if you can tell, there's like straight stitches there in the heart and in the flowers as well, which I think just adds a nice bit of dimension to the piece. And stitching this with most of the called for floss. However, I did switch out one. Here's the floss ring for that. They're kind of a mess right now. But this is the one I switched out. It was originally called for to be cinnamon toast, and I switched it out for this Classic Colorworks secondhand rose. It's just a little bit pinkier, which I liked. I did want to like kind of pull out the pinks in it. I'm really excited. I think this is the one that hasn't been used yet. It is Mountain Mist, and this will kind of be in the basket as well. So really loving that piece for Sampler September. Although it was only 800 stitches, it really felt like I got a good amount of progress. I'm really happy to have made it all the way over to the other side of the border, and that big old house and the big flower are definitely some big stitch counts there, so those are out of the way. I really want to get this one finished by the end of the year, so hoping to be able to do that. It's the first whip that I worked on this last 2 weeks. All right, so the next project that I was able to work on is the Dimensions stocking that I've been putting a lot of progress into, so really happy to see where this one is at now. It's at about 84% complete, so really coming up on the last quarter of the piece. I've got a lot of this done in this area, so all this down here as well as this side, there's a cute little bird, and then this is kind of like a sled shape. So got just over 3,000 stitches in on this, putting it at 84%. The next 2 months I am going to do the same, so I have about 6,000 stitches left. I'm going to put 3,000 in next month, 3,000 in November, and then do the back stitching in December to get it finished up by Christmas. So I was going to show you guys as well, when stitching this one, I love using these big old, these are like a sword basically. They're the size 24 DMC tapestry needles. Usually I don't love the DMC needles, but these I find are great for full coverage, especially the dimensions where sometimes you're pulling 4 and 5 pieces of fabric or of floss through the holes in your fabric. So they're big, but it works great for that. And then for the back stitch, what I love using on full coverage pieces for back stitch is actually these John James quilting needles. They are the Big Eye Quilting. And so I think they're technically, yeah, a size 10. They are teeny tiny, but because there's so many pieces of floss in the holes already, I feel like this just helps the back stitch lay really nicely. So wanted to share that with you guys as a little tip. These quilting needles are awesome for anything that you need that's really needs a lot of detail. And actually the way I was able to get my stitch count on this Dimensions piece was because if you email Simplicity, they are the new brand that owns Dimensions, and send them a picture of your fabric and floss and the whole kit all together, they will email you a digital copy of the chart. So I was able to get that uploaded into Markup XP, and now it's made it hard because since I've stitched full coverage on my iPad instead of with a paper chart, it is hard to go back to doing it on a paper chart. So definitely a great tip if you are somebody who likes to stitch digitally, that you are able to get them emailed, and they take a little bit to reply, but they will get back to you and they will be able to send you that. So again, here's this one. Super excited to have it finished up by the end of the year. Oh, and I should have mentioned as well, also for this one, I need to go through and actually sew a piece of fabric to the bottom here. I did the thing like you're supposed to where I folded it in half to get the middle portions and then be able to start in the middle, but for some reason down here, I don't have enough room to get it in my Q-snap, whereas up here, I've got plenty of room at the top. So I must have made a mistake there, but it'll be okay. I am still able, once I sew some in, I'll be able to get it in my Q-snap. So need to sew something on there and maybe fix up these ends as well. All right, so moving right along here into some knitting. I got some awesome progress on my sweater. I'm really excited. So, this is the No Frill Sweater by Petite Knits. I am knitting it in an extra large, and it's a super easy beginner pattern. This is my first sweater that I'm knitting, so I've really not had any difficulties with the raglan on the sides, like in this area right here. I was able to split for the sleeves as well. So here is where we're at. It's backwards. Ah! Oh my god, it actually looks like something now. I'm so excited about this. So I've got some yarn holding my stitches for the sleeve that I can pick back up later. And I actually put a marker in as well to show you guys where I was at last time. So last time I had just done the cuff and then just a little bit of the increases here. So I've made tons of progress on that one. Absolutely loving how it's coming together. I'm using the Eddie Bauer yarn from Joann's. It's called Woolpaca. There's some details about that. It is a 80% extra fine merino superwash and 20% alpaca. It's called Woolpaca. And this one is in the color Bluebird. So I think they have a darker navy as well, but this one's almost like a royal blue. Loving the progress on this. I've gotten maybe like 10 rows under the sleeve here where I split. Yeah. Awesome. I really hope I think it's gonna fit. I think it actually might end up being a little too big, which is completely fine if it's like oversized. I do need to slip it on though. I haven't tried it on in a little while. So just to make sure that everything's good to go there. I'm using size 2 needles for the collar, and then I'll also use that on like the cuffs at the sleeves and at the bottom, and then size 4 for the actual body of the piece. And that was what I used to get gauge with the piece. I think it calls for a size 6 needle, but I am using my CHAGU interchangeable set. This my husband got, I think either for my birthday or for Christmas, and it seriously has been my favorite thing ever. Megan recommended it, Megan the Seattle Stitcher. So it comes with all these needle tips, and so it is from size 2 to size 15. So literally anything you could imagine. And then any of the cords all hook up to that. So it's awesome for any kind of garment knitting where you're increasing and decreasing a lot. You can change your cords out all the time, which is a huge help. And this has seriously opened the door for so many new projects for me. So just love this CHAGU interchangeable set. And I believe there's a 4-inch and a 5-inch tip length. So I have the 4-inch set. I just thought that be what I liked, and I don't know the difference between the two. So this works out perfectly for me. And just love this. The yarn, as far as that goes, I was a little nervous because this isn't my first time using anything that has any alpaca in it, which I'm not sure if you can tell. Yeah, you can a little bit there. It almost looks like dog hair. And so with having a new golden retriever, I was already self-conscious about it looking like dog hair all over me, but it's not. But I think it's gonna end up being okay. On camera, you can't see as much as like how, oh yeah, you can kind of see there. It is a little fluffy, but I think it's okay. I really like the feel of the fabric that it's making and the drape that it has. So this one's so fun. I would love to get it finished up by next weekend, but I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. The next project that I knit on was my socks. These have been a little bit of they've been a little defeating. So I showed these to you guys last time. here's where I'm at. I originally knitted these one pair of socks, and I used a pattern from Summer Lee. It's a free pattern. It's basically like the leg, you do knit 2, slip 1 as the first row, and then just a knit row, and so it creates like a nice pattern on it. And I cast it on my usual 64 stitches that I always do. However, I did not realize that the the slip round would make it a bit larger. So they were too big. So I basically made it to this point and then pulled them out after I tried them on and realized that they were too big. And I should say not even too long, but like too wide to where it would have slipped off my foot basically. So then I was like, okay, I'll just do it the way I usually do, a vanilla sock from the Crazy Sock Lady on a size 1 needle, which is what I've always used. And for some reason, they're still too big. So I made it to this point, tried it on, and it's too big. So unfortunately, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this one. It's been in timeout for a little while because I did get a pair of 9-inch circulars in a size 0 that I would like to try the second sock in. So I'll leave this, try it with the size 0, see where that puts me on the second sock, and then decide if I want to rip this out and knit it with the size 0. I don't know why that happened. I haven't knit socks in a little while, and so I'm wondering if my tension has just loosened up a little bit. I know the Crazy Sock Lady said that when she knits in the round on 9-inch circulars for socks, she also uses a 0 because her tension is looser. So I'm wondering if just after experience, my tension has loosened up a little bit, causing it to be a little bit larger. Not really sure. But I love the socks because I can take them anywhere. I'll insert a funny picture actually of my husband and I have tickets to a local soccer team here that we go to all their games. And I love to bring my socks and knit at the games. And he took a hilarious picture of me. So I will bring them anywhere. I can shove them right in my purse. So hoping to get some progress on the size 0 needles and update you guys on where that puts me. All right, so moving into a little bit of haul, just a few things to show you here. Let's see. Starting off, those size 0 needles that I was just talking about. I have the package, I have the needles actually downstairs, but they're the 9-inch circular size 0. These Chagu red lace needles, they're the only ones that I'll use at this point. I've tried a few others. I've tried bamboo, but these are just like the gold of needles I've found. So picked up the size 0 in the 9-inch, as well as some extra joins for the my Chagu set. So it was really funny. I ordered these off of Amazon. As you can see, it's just these 2 little pieces right there. So I mean, like barely the size of my fingernail. Amazon sent them in like one of their huge paper mailers, with inside of that one of their plastic mailers, and then this was inside. I mean, it's literally paper thin, and it has 2 little screws basically. So I was like, all right, well, whatever, at least they sent them. But these are used to connect the cable lengths on the interchangeable set so that if you do need something longer, you can kind of string them together. So it came with 1 in the set. I think it was like $6 or $7 to pick up 2 more. And they are teeny tiny, so figured I'd get some in case. I thought I might need them for my sweater, but I didn't end up needing them. So it'll just be nice to have around because they are so small if I lose them or if I need them. So picked that up off of Amazon. And then my final piece of haul is something that I'm so excited about. So as you guys know, I'm knitting the stockings for my husband and I. I've almost finished up his, and I had one planned for myself that was kind of one that I settled for. It was in print, and I'll show you that. This is something I've had for a while. This is the one I originally had planned for myself. It is beautiful, don't get me wrong. Love that. However, when I was originally looking for them, I came across an out of print stocking from Dimensions that I absolutely fell in love with. At the time, it was super expensive on eBay and all the secondhand websites. So I just decided I wasn't going to get it. Moving on. And however, I did come across one on eBay for a pretty good deal that I just had to snag up. So this is the Winter Twilight stocking by Dimensions Gold. Absolutely beautiful. It's so cute here. I just love this one. I love the little kids here with the dog. I'd love to have 3 kids and a dog. So it's just beautiful. I had to grab it once I saw it for a pretty good deal. It came out in 2001. I'm not sure when it went out of print. This one will be interesting because it does not have the floss sorted. So we'll see about actually getting that sorted. I have coming some plastic thread sorters to sort everything out. But if you guys have any tips for that, keeping everything organized and differentiating between the colors on their list, that would be awesome. And I do also want to try to get the chart scanned into my iPad. However, I'm really struggling with that. So it isn't good enough quality on any of the scanners that I've tried. I tried my home scanner. That was a poor attempt. And then I also tried the Office Depot scanner that you can, or I'm sorry, Staples, that you can pay for. So it was like 60 cents a scan, and I got them on my phone, and I was like, these look awful. So if anybody has any ideas on how to get a digital copy of the chart that I clearly have and paid for, a way of just getting a good quality working copy, that would be awesome. But again, so excited for this one. As soon as I finish his, I'm going to start mine and hopefully have it finished by not this Christmas, but the coming Christmas, and be able to get those finished, or I should say FFO'd, fully finished. But yeah, just beautiful. I'm so excited I was able to snag this. Moving into a little bit of plans. I know last week I talked about working on Pumpkin House by Liz Matthews. However, you did not see that. Unfortunately, I want to feel in the fall mood so badly, and I just have not been feeling it quite yet. It's hot, it's humid here today in Cincinnati, Ohio, and really was just not feeling up to it. So definitely want to get some progress there on that one here soon, but was just not feeling in the mood for it. But as far as plans moving forward, I have 2 ideas. I'm itching for a new start. And so these are completely different, but we'll see which one I decide on. First one is a kit from Rioles, and that is this Santorini kit. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. We went to Santorini for our honeymoon, so would absolutely love to see this one stitched up in my home. It is the full kit, came with everything. I've got it all here in this cute project bag that I've had for years that I thought was just a perfect fit for this project. So it's just been waiting in here, waiting to get started. I haven't tried one of their kits before, and I really haven't been that much of a big kit stitcher until recently with my stockings, but saw this one and could not turn it down. So we'll see if I start that, or I'll insert a picture of this here. It is Needles Dance. There's a couple of different designers on this one. It's Summer House Stitchworks, Ink Circles, and Hands On Design. So they all collaborated on a piece, and it's super, super cute. I've pulled some fabric and floss for that one. This is a color and cotton 40 count. I'm not sure of the name of the color, unfortunately. When I got it, they didn't give me a little tag, and I just totally forget what it's called. But it's a beautiful blue. The piece is stitched on both a blue or a white. I really like the idea of the blue. And then I've got a color conversion here that I made using some Forbidden Fiber Co. floss that I picked up at StitchCon. So really think this would just be beautiful. I love this pink and the blues. So yeah, we'll see which one. I'm itching for a little something, but I'm not sure what quite yet. So we'll see what I decide to get into. And then other than that, as far as plans, next weekend, Elizabeth and I are going to be going to the 28th annual wool gathering. So excited for that. It's an event that's put on by Young's Dairy. It's in Yellow Springs in the Dayton area. They have like 100 or more knitting vendors or yarn vendors that come out and set up all across the street from Young's Dairy. It's sponsored by them. And I grew up going to Young's Dairy as a kid. It's like a large dairy farm that you can go and pet goats and get ice cream, and there's like all the tractors that the kids can play on and stuff. So it's really fun to go out there. Elizabeth and I went last year and had such a great time. So we're planning to go again this year, and I just can't wait. So if you're local to the area, definitely look into the 28th annual wool gathering and see if it's something that you could be interested in going to as well. I totally recommend. We had such a great time. So that's kind of it for plans and stitching and everything that I've got here for you today. Did want to mention a couple pieces behind me here. I had some people ask about my first project as well as like getting into higher counts and things. So I figured I would show my first and second project just to show you the differences there between the two. So let me go ahead and grab those. All right, so here is my first ever finished cross stitch piece. I have no idea where this came from. I have no idea what the flosses are. I think it's a chart from Etsy. As you can see, the finishing is awful. It's like finished in a hoop, but it is so floppy. I think I used pen to mark the center. I don't really know what, but it is really fun to see how far I've come. And then also I had this up higher up on my pegboard back there, and I forgot when I pulled it down that I also had this lovely embroidery piece in it that I did who knows when. Like I used a water soluble pen that obviously did not fully water soluble, and then like these, I think these are called Lazy Daisies maybe or something like that. They're obviously really smashed and just they look terrible, but it is fun to see the starting of where I've come from. So that's the first piece. Then I dove all the way in after that. So this is a piece that I actually uploaded a picture to a website that will generate a pattern for you. And so this was when Taylor Swift's new re-recorded album Red was coming out. This was my second piece. So imagine going from this to this. I love the way this one turned out. It's awesome. I started this October 11th of 2021 and finished it February 27th of 2022. It's 60 colors of DMC, and it looks awesome. It's finished in a frame, an 8x8 frame from Michaels. And yeah, if you guys are interested, I do have the PDF for this that I generated, so I can definitely send that and share it with you. Just go ahead and message me on Instagram with your email and I'll send that your way. But yeah, another one of my little finishing cards back there. It's awesome. So those are both my first and second pieces. I think after that, I did jump into a piece with linen. So maybe I'll show you those one day as well. Again, just want to say thank you so much to everyone for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. It was so fun to be able to talk about what I've been working on and what I plan to work on as well. So yeah, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.